I've obtained A star in both IGCSE and the A levels. So I took the CIE exam board. Today I would like to share, is economics really hard in IGCSE level and A level? First of all, for IGCSE level, I would say it is really easy for you to grab an A or even A asterisk, because number one, all the questions, not all, but most of the questions, they are quite common sense. So you can make use of your own knowledge to answer the question. So let me put it this way: you don't have to quote a lot of things from the textbook. Just simply use your own language, then you may grab a full mark for most of the questions. Number two, for IGCSE economics, the math is really simple, and I would say even for junior secondary students or even primary kids, okay, they can handle. So I would say there are only a few formulas you need to memorize, but it is very easy to apply such formula to grab your answer and to calculate the figures that you need to score full mark. And number three, for the things that you need to study, I would say the questions type are quite straightforward. So the questions, okay, including both multiple choice questions and the long questions, the essays, they're quite repetitive. So you may just study the past paper questions in recent years, then you can have it. Okay, you can have your grades that you desired or you admire, you demand. Okay. So that's my comment for the IGCSE economics. It's really easy, and I do recommend you pick it. But for the A level, so first of all, I would like to clarify that I took the A level, but not the AS1. Okay, but sure. Okay, for AS economics, okay, I can surely grab an A star, because you can see, I would say both my papers for the AS level, paper 1 and paper 2, yeah, I grabbed a quite, a very high score too. So for A level economics, you need to do 4 papers, but for the AS economics, you just need to do 2 papers. I would say for the AS level, it's easy, but for the A level, it's a little bit difficult. I would say, let me put it this way: the syllabus of the A level economics, of course, is much bigger, or there are more things you need to study in A level, but not that much. Yeah, just a little bit more, okay, compared to the AS level. But I would say the difficulty of the questions of A level is quite demanding, especially for the essays. So there are a lot of essays consist of 25 marks. So what you need to do, you need to fully understand the context and the content of the textbook. And before I went to the exam, I even need to memorize the whole essay. Okay, so there are some sample essays I need to study. I need to memorize it all, and I need to take my time to write the essay quick. So I would say, besides text, I also need to memorize all the diagrams. I need to put it down. So I would say the AS level economics is quite easy, but the A level economics is quite difficult. So it depends. I would say I do recommend you study IGCSE economics, but for the A level, I think you need to think twice, because there might be other choices for you to pick it up. So regarding A level economics, so there are some study skills I would like to share. So number one is, I would say, number one, you must study sample essay. So instead of going through the textbook, I think you should go through the sample essays, because there are logical sequence that you need to go through. Okay, so starting from defining the problem, analyzing the situation, and then you explain the key concepts and knowledge, and you have to do evaluation. So there are steps. Okay, so there are key concept terms, things you need to put down, and also there are some diagrams. So they are default that you must put down to grab some marks. So go through the sample essay. So that's the first thing I recommend. Okay, if you study A level economics. The second study tips that I would like to share, if you go through the A-level economics is that so please, please study the evaluation part precisely, because I would say if you want to grab an A star like me, you must have high order thinking skills. So you must do evaluation, so go through the sample essay, especially the evaluation part, so make sure you know the skills how to do evaluation. Number three, you must, I would say you can pick, so there are some questions for you to pick for the essay. You don't have to answer all the questions in the essay part, but still I would say there are some hot topics that I do recommend you to pick. So I usually pick those questions that you don't need to comply with real world examples. So there are some essays they require you to analyze the real world situation. So students coming all around the world may not know the situation in particular countries like the UK, the US, or China, or some developing countries. So usually I would go through, I would pick those questions, just talk about theory stuff. Say for example, like the indifference curve. For this topic, indifference curve is very difficult, but I would say all the questions they look very similar. Like how would you use indifference curve to derive the demand curve? So that demand curve derived from the indifference curve, can it reflect or explain the real world situation? So it's all about theories, and you don't need real world examples to comply, and you can score very high marks. So to conclude, IGCSE economics, easy, go ahead. AS economics, easy, go ahead. But for the A-level one, it's a little bit difficult, and I'm sure that you need to think twice before you enroll. That's all for this video. Feel free to leave a comment.